A reminder, please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. When speaking, please come to the podium, state your name, address, speak loudly and clearly. Thank you. Item number 1 is approval of the agenda.
I'll move it.
First, second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Item number 2, approval of the minutes, meeting minutes from July 1, 2025.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Passes 3-0. Item number 3, approval of claims. I would call on Shane Albrecht, please.
Thank you. Right now, we have one claim on the thing this time, and it's for $500, and that's from UMB. UMB is something that Dennis set up that kind of audits our bond stuff. So I would tell you that's just a fee that we pay, and it needs to happen.
I'll move the claims.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Item number 4 on the agenda, financial report, and I would call on Mr. Ryan Erickson to provide that to us, please.
Hi, Ryan Erickson, Woodbury County Finance Director. It'll be a very quick and simple report this period. For the last 2 weeks, there was only one bill paid out of the miscellaneous fund to Frederickson, an amount of about $10,000. And then the taxable bond had nearly $10,000 of interest, and then the maintenance fund had about $1,000 of interest. So that was the activity for the last 2 weeks.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Erickson?
I had one for you. So when you go down to the bottom line where it says totals of all Justice Center funds,
Yeah, I see what your question. I need to correct that formula.
Okay, that's a good question.
Geez, accountants can't add. I'm not good with numbers.
Hey, Ryan, on the period revenue, should those two numbers be added together?
Yes, that's what.
that's what my question is.
Because you can see on the second
I was talking
page.
to our board chair to make sure it wasn't a silly question I was gonna ask.
No, if you look on page 2, it is a total of
Sorry, Shane.
11,000, but I will get that corrected.
All right, I just figured you're testing us.
Yeah, I was, and you passed.
I believe they call that University of Iowa math.
That hurts.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, sir, even with the pain that you had to endure. Item number 5, discussion and action on quote from C.W. Suter for PR 54. I would call on Shane Albrecht from Baker Group to please provide information on that.
So right now, PR 54, you guys will all remember, is EF1. Add 2 supplemental fans. One fan will be over the north part of booking holding cells, and the other fan will be over the south part. It also will pick up a restroom out of the kitchen. And we have a price before us from Suter. That is one of 3 to 4 quotes that we need. Wanted to get this before you to get this moving. Their quote is for $51,570. And that's the work to provide the fans and get them installed on the roof. In a few minutes, we'll be talking about Thompson, who'll be providing the power. The one piece we don't have is Winkler Roofing's quote to do the roof and patch it back, but we'll talk about that during our LEC update. Any questions?
Any questions, Mr. Albrecht?
Jody, are these costs reflected in our joint demand letter?
They are.
Okay, thank you. I move approval.
I guess there's one thing, sorry, Mark. You'll notice a bunch of red type things in here. There was some things in this for notes and exclusions that we couldn't agree to. We had Jody review that, so when you see the red lines and the initials, those are all things that we struck out and we both have agreed to before it was brought to you to get it to be correct. Sorry about that.
Okay, I second that we move forward on that. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Item number 6 on the agenda today is discussion and action on quote from Thompson Solution Group for PR 54. And again, I'd call on Shane Albrecht from Baker Group, please.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Before you is a quote from Thompson to provide power to those 2 new fans. So for $5,925 is the cost for them to take up some more breaker space that, quite frankly, we don't have enough extra breaker space right now. This uses 2 of the existing breakers, so for $5,925, that gets power to these 2 new fans.
I'll move approval.
I'll second that. Jody, same question as before. Is this reflected in our demand letter?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Item number 7 on the agenda today is discussion and action for quote from Thompson Solution Group for an additional panel. Once again, I call on Shane Albrecht from Baker Group, please.
Yes, so this adds a new panel into the room where Kenny just added a washer and dryer to, so it's in the mechanical closet between a booking and the vehicle sally port. There's a little janitor's closet there. This adds a new panel there. The reason for the need to add this new panel to that space is because of all the things like the quote you just approved and some of the previous issues that we've had with Introba, missing cabinet unit heater in the front vestibule, missing power to the WCIC closet down below. We're running out of the 10% spare breakers that we were supposed to have because we've used them all for all these other things. So this is a quote to add a panel to a room to get us so we actually have the spare breakers that we should have had all along. This is also included in the damages letter that Jody sent out to you guys.
Any questions for Mr. Albrecht?
I'll move it.
I second it. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Item number 9, information and update on LEC project, and again, Shane Albrecht from Baker Group.
I think we skipped.
Oh,
item
I
number
did
8.
skip one, I'm sorry. Item number 8, discussion and action on CW Suter quote for materials for AHU 1 and AHU 3.
So currently, about 2 months ago, you guys approved the material and the labor quote for $29,000 for them to start getting the controls done on AHU 2. We still needed to get the controls done on AHU 1 and 3. And because of this been a busy time for Rist and Associates, which is the supplier of the Eptron flow control station, I asked that we get the materials at least ordered. There'll be a labor quote coming later, but this allows them to get that stuff ordered because we'll need them for AHUs 1 and 3 and give us a chance to see what it costs for labor on AHU 2 before we move forward with that price. This at least gets the parts here. Ron's already previously approved this because it was in his dollar amount. This is just bringing it before you guys to tell what was going on and for ask for your approval as well.
Any questions?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Now we'll move to item number 9 on the agenda, information and update on the LEC project, and once again, Shane Albrecht from Baker Group.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. So today, Kenny and myself and Dan Heisel with County Conservation met outside to look at the grass, weeds growing, prairie grass, walk around and talk about next steps. So we had a good meeting out there, walking around, looking at that stuff. Dan's gonna write us up a report. We got too many Dans, so Dan Heisel's gonna write up the report, not Dan Moore, to get us, tell us what to do with the weeds and how to move forward. We also talked to Dan, and Kenny sent out an email. County Conservation has the ability to mow that to get it looking nice. Had a height recommendation, they're gonna mow that down to 12 inches. And they're gonna provide a cost of that, using the Iowa State billing rates, not the University of Iowa billing rates, but Iowa State billing rates, for all the different equipment, and submit that cost to the authority, to get that taken care of. So I'm gonna just stop there for any questions from everybody here. I've got more updates to do, but I think it's a good time for questions, if you have one.
Now I'll just add to that, Shane, that Woodbury County Conservation grows acres and acres of prairie and maintains acres and acres of prairie every year across Woodbury County. So it's a great fit. It's obviously something they shouldn't have to do, but they want to help us out. And so as long as we can bill back appropriately for their time, I think it's great. They've got the experience, and Dan's one of the best conservation directors in the state. And so I'll, anything he has in his report regarding the seeding and nature of that stand of grass, I don't think there'll be any doubts, so.
So the next step, sorry, Dan, did you have any questions, or Ron?
No.
The next thing that happened was Bob Veenster and Jody showed up about 9 o'clock this morning. Bob Veenster is our civil expert that is also supposed to comment on the soil. He concurred with what Dan had already said about some topsoil missing in areas and different things like that, as well as talking about the fact that we didn't have the right turf stuff in areas and some things in the shaded areas. He did explain, I'm talking Bob this time. Bob did explain, similar to what Dan explained, our fescues and stuff were taken over because of the shade that's in there. And because the weeds got too tall out there and weren't maintained, and the right herbicides and fertilizer wasn't used. So Bob Veenster is gonna put together a report with input from Dan on next steps for the expert report and all that stuff. And we'll give a thing to go move forward. We will need to make a decision, not now, but in the future. Dan also offered, Heisel, offered, not Dan Moore, he's not offering to seed, but offered that he could do some overseeding to different things in different parts. But we need to do that in the right steps, as approved by our attorneys. So we kind of talked through some of those steps and what the next things are with all of that piece. The next thing we did with Bob Veenstra and Jody was we went to the areas where the parking lot's been heaving. So out north of the vehicle sally port and south of the building, right out in front of the handicap parking stalls, okay? It's detailed on Kevin's warranty, 1-year walkthrough list, but also we're gonna need to get Terracon or Olson there to do some core samples. And we talked through what we need to take for samples so we can figure out who's at fault. Whether it's a design, construction, installation, or whatever, we don't know at this time until we get these samples. So Bob recommended 5 samples, core samples on the north side of the vehicle sally port, and 3 core samples on the south side of the vehicle sally port. And then we'll know what's going on after we see those samples and see his report, and what the next corrective measures will be on that stuff. Is there questions on that piece with Bob and any of that stuff with the concrete? Okay. So what else has been going on? We just received today, Kevin Rost with GGA, his warranty walkthrough, typed up report. Kevin is also in the process of looking at writing up his report on the jury rooms as far as the next steps. And he did send out jail administration windows, pictures, and next steps on that stuff, okay? So that's kind of those pieces. Since I was here on last 2 weeks, the big thing that I've got for different items and different parts is EF9, which is exhaust fan 9 that just works when the dishwasher is supposed to be running. Currently, it's running all the time. And next, it's not getting the steam out of the space that it should. And thirdly, when Kenny pulled it off the roof and flipped it upside down, it looks like somebody took a can opener to the bottom of it. So Kenny has sent out a request that this is not an acceptable way to fix it. It's on Kevin's 1-year walkthrough, as well as a fan that needs replaced. There was an email today from Todd Harlow, stating that this has the kitchen chef very, very frustrated and needs something done rather quickly. I have also forwarded that email to Hausman, to Caleb and Clay, to get that Hausman involved as well. And I've sent it to Ron Anderson, and Kenny sent it to pretty much a lot of other people with Suter. I will follow up tomorrow with a call with Suter to see how that's all going. Kenny, I usually bring you up now to talk about anything on the warranty item and stuff that's still moving forward, that's not come back to us basically has been part of the damages and things we gotta do for next steps.
Right, so, I guess in my opinion, we have probably turned over the warranty item list, to Jody, and/or the attorneys to do with what they see fit. We were, not seeing much movement on the warranty list anymore. And, so I felt that, it was necessary to move in that direction. Just an update on EF9, I did speak to Andy Neerman with CW Suter. They are at least going to have a technician come and look at EF9 tomorrow at 11:30. So, didn't say they were going to fix anything, but they're going to come in and at least take a look at the issue, so.
Okay. Questions for either of us? Okay, so my final update's on AHU 2, where you guys have already approved the control stuff. Parts were supposed to be in end of last week. We have a meeting with Andy on Thursday, I think 10 o'clock, in Kenny's office, to kind of talk about next steps. I told you back in May that unfortunately Adichia, which was their controls tech, from India went back to the UK. And Suter was waiting till the 1st of July when this new person would come. The new person has been delayed and is not supposed to be here till Thursday. So then we should be able to get the controls programming changed and some of the things we're waiting on. Currently, we have PR 55 out for pricing, and I'm waiting for that number to come back so that we can get that all included as well. Good news about PR 55, when Kevin was here, he did figure out there was some openings that we didn't need to cut in the wall, which would have been very detrimental to the jail staff because one was by central control and the other one was by the most used door that I've seen in coming between video arraignment coming out of booking. The other hole was above that. Neither one of those holes need to be cut, so that's a wonderful thing because that would have greatly impacted the jail operations.
And you're getting pricing on that right now, or waiting?
PR 55 R2, I'm waiting to get on pricing on that right now.
Yep.
I sent that out last week.
Does that conclude your update?
Yes, sir.
Any
Wanna-
questions?
Shane, do you want to give just a quick update on the jail admin windows and Kevin's most recent email to Houseman, just our position consistent with Goldberg's?
Sure. Last week, we got, I think it came on Thursday or Friday, we got an email from Caleb Anderson with Hausman that says Centria was still gonna honor our 2-year warranty, and G&L sent this with Centria's thing saying they'd still honor the thing. So they were trying to get by with just caulking the windows, and that is not part of the specs. So caulk does not last for 20 years. So Kevin has sent 2 emails confirming our position that their solution was, by just running some caulk in there, was not the right solution. He's also sent a thing where they need to provide documented ASTM testing for that area as well. He's taken some pictures. So Kevin's position on this, GJ's position on this is the fix is not acceptable, and they need to take the panels off the wall to continue on with that process. Anybody else?
No. All right. Item number 10 on our agenda today is public concerns.
John Mack, KCAU, 5993 Gordon Drive. I just got 4 questions to ask real quick, just because since you guys go to closed session, I want to try to get this before that. I'm going to ask the 4 questions and then go back and wait for responses. So I will be slow to answer if you need to write these questions down. First question I have is, why did the authority release the joint demand letter? Second, what resolution does the authority seek regarding damages outlined in the letter? Third, how would the lawsuit impact taxpayers? And finally, I believe this one probably, Shane, you probably the best one to answer this. Just as for a more common knowledge for people who don't understand like PRs, APRs and all that, what remains unfinished at the LEC? And I will wait for a response when I get back there. Thank you.
I'm gonna jump in first if that's okay.
Sure.
The board, the authority doesn't have any further comments beyond the press release, which states why we made the press release. And then our damages and other information are set out in detail. So beyond what's in that joint damages letter, we don't have any additional comments. Do you have any, in terms of work not yet finished? Shane went over an update of both punch list items, but then warranty list items, which are different. So Shane, do you have any other comments beyond what you gave today?
Just to help John understand, so PRs are proposal requests. So there's 2 outstanding proposal requests and a bunch of warranty and 1-year walkthrough items and some punch list items. Just to make that very clear and very summed up.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
very good, thank you. Item number 11 on the agenda today is authority board member concerns.
None.
Hearing none. Item number 12 is closed session with Frederickson and Byron Law Firm, Iowa Code Chapter 21.51C. I move that we go into closed session.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Wick,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
Okay.
We're going directly into.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yep. See you guys.